Hey, what's up guys? I'm Zalassi, and today I'm going to teach you how to configure your Brawl CTF map. I want to give a quick shout out to Nom Nugget Nom, or New Instance, or whatever his name is these days. He created the sign config system actually pretty recently, and it's awesome because we can go and configure our own maps without having to bug a moderator. Now, before we get started, I wanted to drill one thing into your brain. Remember that red is 1, blue is 2. Red is 1, blue is 2. Blue and 2 rhyme, so that should be easy enough to remember. But if you mess up the numbers on the signs, people are going to spawn in weird places and they're going to die, or other mayhem will happen. Now the next thing you need to do is pick your spawn blocks. Blue colors are best for blue, of course, red for red. Just make sure you pick 2 blocks that are completely different IDs. If you pick two different colors of clay or 2 different colors of wool, what happens is that those blocks have very similar IDs and it glitches out, and you could also have that same dying problem. So make sure you pick something solid. Once you make your decision, try not to place that block anywhere outside of the spawn because that can accidentally kill a player or remove the flag. After deciding on your block, choose the point that you want to spawn at. At red side, in between 2 sets of brackets, the curly brackets, you want to put spawn space 1. Like this. And then on blue side, you're going to do the same thing using spawn 2. The front of your sign is going to be the front of your player, and whatever direction your sign is facing is going to be where the player's face is going to be. So think of the face of the sign as the face of your player. Have it facing that way. For the flags, place your signs on your fence posts with either flag 1 or flag 2 in your brackets. And just like the spawn points, the face of the sign is going to be the face of the flag. Now for the rest of your map information, you're going to have to put a sign in your spawn box. The sign has to be on a solid block, so no glass or anything fancy underneath it. And then doing the same thing you did before with the brackets, you're going to have 3 different lines with information this time. The first one, put spawn _ box. That's going to signify that's where your players are going to first spawn at the beginning of the game. Second line, you're going to have the amount of caps. And then for the third line, you do brackets time equals 20, close brackets. Keep the time at 20. If you have a small map that needs more caps, you can go ahead and put it up to about 5, but don't get too crazy with it because staff will go back and change it. So now your map is configured for the most part. If you haven't restricted your map from necro and engineer structures, you need to go ahead and do this. There are 2 ways to restrict areas, using block 97, which is monster block, or by using signs. I highly recommend using block 97 whenever you can. Block 97 protects a 7 by 7 by 7 cube of space, which looks like this. Signs only protect a 3 by 3 by 3 area, which is tiny, and it makes your map look like this. I save signs for times that I can't use a block, usually on high ledges or trees or other weird places that just don't have enough room. The cool thing about Monster Block is that you have 5 different options to use, so if you don't mind one of these 5 blocks being visible, then you're good to go. If you want to hide the block, you can bury it underneath buildings, and you're going to want to put it under your spawn, under your flag room, and in any tight hallways or other spots that engineers and necros can camp in. The method that I use to hide it under other blocks is to select my area, and then I use move to make a space to work in. I place the blocks underneath, and then I move my build back down. It really doesn't take as much time as you think, so you might as well go ahead and get it over with whenever you get the chance. If you don't know if an area has monster blocks, you can always select it and use / count 97, and that'll tell you how much of it is in the area. If it says 0, then you need to go ahead and set it. If you need to use signs, all you do is put down a sign and put the word restrict in between the curly brackets. And then I'd recommend just copy pasting that sign wherever you need it, and that'll save you a whole lot of time. If your signs are good and your restrictions are good, the next thing to do is to make sure that you have coal ore on the outside of your map or anywhere that you don't want soldiers to climb. Even though soldier climb isn't infinite anymore, it's still good to put it on the outside edges just to make sure that there isn't any camping. And my final pro tip for today, use double soul sand to prevent fall damage. This is something that I think has been in CTF for a while, but we either didn't know about it or forgot about it. But if you place double soul sand somewhere, once the map is in the CTF game mode, you won't get any fall damage when you land on it. That's my guide on how to configure your CTF map. It's not that difficult once you know the sign formats, and the less work there is to fix the map, the higher chance you have of getting it in rotation. I hope this guide helps a bit. Good luck on your maps and happy building!